Hare Krishna, welcome to this a new initiative, new group of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading group. I heartily welcome all of you. Thank you very, very much for showing your interest in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And today is our first day. We are beginning this group today. It is an orientation session. Uh, I'll be briefly speaking about the purpose of this group, what all we can expect, the methodology, and we'll quickly go through a brief life sketch of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we'll take on certain misconceptions and uh, also some other administrative details about how this group will be conducted. So yes, uh, before I begin, I would like to invite all of you to understand why you have registered for this group. What are your hopes and aspiration? What is it that you are looking forward through this group? And I would like to take few responses. Anyone who would like to share your intention of joining this group or your reasons of dedicating time every day in reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yes, Prabha Manjari Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी धन्यवाद। प्रभु जी मेन रीजन तो ये है कि एसोसिएशन में जो भक्ति हो जाती है, जैसे हम लोगों की रीडिंग सेशन हिज ग्रेस राधा रानी माता जी लेते, तो डेली हम लोग भागवतम 1 घंटे पढ़ लेते हैं। और जिस दिन सैटरडे संडे छुट्टी होती है तो उस दिन हम सुबह सुबह ही 2 श्लोक पढ़ते हैं, फिर पूरा दिन टाइम नहीं मिलता हमें कि वही 2 श्लोक पढ़ लेते हैं, और 1 घंटे वैसे रीडिंग डेली हो जाती है। तो मेन है कि अगर हम एसोसिएशन के साथ कोई भी काम करते हैं तो हमें होता है ना कि इस टाइम हमें बैठना ही बैठना है, तो वो काम हमारा कंप्लीट हो जाता है। और एक इंटरेस्ट भी बहुत आता है सबके साथ में ना पढ़ने का।
क्या?
और आप लोग जो गाइडेंस देंगे उसकी अलग ही बात होती है, फिर मैंने तो इसीलिए ज्वाइन किया प्रभु जी।
ओके, थैंक यू। साथ में पढ़ने से एक तो बहुत लाइवली लगता है, इंटरेस्ट आता है। दूसरा, रीडिंग हो जाती है इसी बहाने। अकेले में बहुत बार मिस होने का डर रहते हैं। और तीसरी बार जब साथ में डिस्कशंस होती हैं तो उससे और नए नए जब पॉइंट्स निकलते हैं तो उससे भी बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग होता है। थैंक यू। यस, राजशेखर प्रभु।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam.
Uh,
First of all, I'm grateful to you that you initiated this course. And this is the area where I'm totally lacking. Shri Prabhupada said that Bhagavad Gita is just beginning and Bhagavatam is UG and this is PG course. So to understand Chaitanya Chandra is not possible to read alone. As such, the scriptures are such that we cannot just understand the things by sitting at home and in association. We require association, and this is one of the cream of the scripture. And I'm thankful to you that you had started this thing, and I hope that I will able to be benefited in this association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Yeah, Chaitanya Charitamrita is the cream, is the most nectarian scripture. Thank you. Yes, Ramnath, Kripa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanapnam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, I have read Chaitanya Charitamrita 10 years ago, 7 to 8, 10 years ago, and I really wanted to read it in association with senior devotees. I wanted to learn deep understanding from Chaitanya Charitamrita. As Prabhuji said that this is a postgraduate course, I think. So, trying to understand Chaitanya Leela. Please bless me that I could continue it, because my Bhakti Vaibhav is also going on that same timings, just 7:30 to 9:30, something like. And this link is shared by Nityan Dasha Prabhuji, who is president of ISKCON Bahadurgarh, and he suggested me to join it. So I came here, and thank you so much once again that you take a step to start it. Hare Krishna. Dhanapam.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, Mataji, and convey my regards to Nityananda Ashray Prabhu. Thank you. Yes, Rukmani, Harisemi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. I already had an experience to read NOD with you uh, in COVID time 5 years back, and it was like I will, I read NOD earlier also, but at that time I came to know how it's different bhavas, because generally, even in Bhakti Shastri we don't go beyond 19 chapters. So I know what I got that time. I have relished that, so this time I could not even think to miss it. So I'm so happy that you have taken this initiative, and yes, I'm so excited to read. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for your enthusiasm, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, Piyush Prabhu.
Yes, Puri. So,
Nice to see you. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
so recently I have started reading Chaitanya Charitamrita myself. So there are no specific expectations. Just wanted to have more insights onto the flow of the book and the mood of the author. Like,
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, one last will day. Raj Gupta Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Okay.
प्रभु जी, मैंने अभी तक सिर्फ आपकी ही क्लास अटेंड की है, सिर्फ गीता जी रिसाइट करने में। मैं ज्यादा कुछ नहीं जानती प्रभुपाद जी के बारे में या और अदर बुक्स हैं जो भी। तो मेरा इंटरेस्ट बना आपकी क्लास अटेंड करके, और मैं आगे और भी जानना चाहती हूँ कि भाई आगे इन बुक्स में क्या है, हम क्या सीख सकते हैं और क्या कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए मैंने ये अटेंड की क्लास।
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your hopes, expectation. Let me share a brief presentation. Just a moment. I hope you are able to see this. Okay. So yes, I would like to share my purpose in starting this group. It is very similar to what all of you have shared. Oftentimes we hear so many times about the importance of studying Shastra. So much so, it is repeated every day in our daily classes. We hear from our fellow Vaishnavas, and many devotees, including myself, even have a very sincere aspiration to go deep in the Shastras. Yet I found myself that however I'm saying that I want to do this, I want to do this and that, we often do not prioritize it in our daily schedule due to variety of reasons. It can be. But I found that if there is a sangha where I'm supposed to lead, personally, I become accountable to all of you. That is the reason, that is one of the reason we kept certain charges. There was no charges that were required to have a study shastra, but those charges were simply as a token of certain sort of commitment and accountability, and then emphasis that we will spend our time on studying them. So that was my personal reason that I wanted to read and study Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I found that this is one of the best ways to read. I'll be accountable. All of other devotees will be accountable. There will be a very good association, good journey, and during the discussions, um, um, we get to understand the same thing from different points of perspective. I'm a particular point may not hit me very well, but a certain devotee sharing their own experiences about that point, then it makes me think, and it makes all of us think, oh wow, this can be, this is relevant in such way also. This point acted in that devotee's life in a particular way. So yeah, that is my only purpose that I personally wanted to study Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And of course, the scripture is very nectarian. Srila Prabhupada translated the scripture and published this. We all know that past time when Srila Prabhupada gave that historic instruction to Rameshwar Swami and the other devotees that I want to publish this Chaitanya Charitamrita in 2 months. So they were saying that for publishing one book, it will take 4 months. And this is like 17-volume book, 17 books. According to their calculation, to publish one book, it would take 4 months, including everything, hiring an artist to paint the pictures, and then the typesetting, arranging papers, all the processes that goes in the publishing. If they do it very effectively and very productively, it will take 4 months to publish one book. Srila Prabhupada said 4 months for one book, that's too much. I want the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita said in 2 months. And they were stunned, they were bewildered. How is it even possible? Yet they surrendered to the instruction of Srila Prabhupada. They found out various ways and means, and they finally accomplished it. They published it, Chaitanya Charitamrita, in 2 months. And it established Krishna consciousness movement like anything in this entire world. It gave the world the nectarian pastimes and life and teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So yeah, two things. One is for my own personal commitment to studying Srila Prabhupada books, and secondly, that Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in itself is said to be a postgraduate study in spiritual life. Bhagavad Gita is said to be the first book. Bhagavatam is said to be like the graduation, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is said to be the post graduation. Well, that said, there are also certain misconceptions about Chaitanya Charitamrita. One of which is, if I have not read other books, can I directly study Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita? How many of you have studied Bhagavad Gita at least once? Bhagavad Gita as it is once in your life, from page to page. Okay. How many of you have completed Srimad Bhagavatam? Can you raise your hands? A show of hand. You have read Srimad Bhagavatam. When I say Bhagavatam, that means purports also. From Canto 1 to Canto 12. You have completed that. Okay, only 3 devotees. Okay, 2 devotees only have read Srimad Bhagavatam. All of other have not read, have not completed. Okay. So, so if I have not read Srimad Bhagavatam or if I have not read Bhagavad Gita, can I read Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita? Just hold on. So yes, we can. What is the proof? Srila Prabhupada did not waited for completing Srimad Bhagavatam before publishing Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, we cannot understand Srimad Bhagavatam without understanding the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the reason Srila Prabhupada gave the introduction to the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before translating Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And mostly the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam is the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you've read. So they goes hand in hand, and definitely we can directly study Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's no obstruction to it. Now, second, it's not a misconception. It's often a self-doubt. Can I understand Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita? It is a too high of a scripture for me to even touch it. Let me just study the basic books, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is beyond out of my range. I'm not qualified to approach Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, even if we accept that, what will give the qualification? What is the point? What is the time when we'll become qualified? Or what is the qualification to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita? What is the qualification? Yes, Ramnath Kripamatri.
जानने की इच्छा प्रभु जी।
Okay, one is desire. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, basically that Athato Brahma Jigyasa, first Vedanta Sutra. And we do it in the guidance of acharyas. We are not doing it independently. We are the Chaitanya Charitamrita that we are studying is presented by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We are taking shelter of Acharya to understand the life and teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that itself is a will give qualification. So oftentimes I've seen a tendency that we put certain things on such a pedestal that a normal person thinks it is inaccessible to me. So these are transcendental scriptures, yes, but transcendental does not mean that it is inaccessible to me. They are accessible. Krishna is transcendental, is beyond this material world. And yet, when he comes as an avatar, he is accessible to all of us. So similarly, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is accessible. We need a proper devotional attitude and the guidance of acharyas in entering into its right mood and spirit. And one qualification Srila Prabhupada often emphasizes is the devotional mindset, devotional attitude, not with a view of attaining an academic scholarship. This is not the primary intention that I will be known as the scholar in three world. If that is the intention, this scripture will give you that. You will be known as the scholar. You will be known as accomplished person. You will get that fame. But the real essence that the scripture is offering, we might miss that, and that is the love of Krishna. If our primary goal and intention is to get to access love of Krishna, then we'll get that. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Scholarship is very important. The kind of contribution that devotional scholarship can offer to this world is unmatchable. But the scholarship in itself, without devotional attitude, that also has a role. But if you want that, you will become that. So, what Srila Prabhupada said, that is like licking the bottle of honey from outside. If you really want to taste honey, we have to open the bottle and actually taste the honey. So, that devotional attitude in a mood of humility is the qualification to approach the scriptures. And these are accessible. I can read it, I can understand it, I can apply in my own life, I can share it with others. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us. He's saying, Amar Agya hoy Tara Edesh. On my instruction, you take this message, give to others. He's not saying, okay, this message is meant for a particular caste of people, particular nationality, or a particular group of. No, he's ordering everyone to take it. He has come to give it freely to everyone. So we can definitely uh, approach it, we can understand it, we can access it. Okay. So that was another thing. And yeah. So a brief note about the author. Okay, one more thing. बहुत सारे डिवोटीज के मैसेजेस भी आ रहे थे कि ये सेशन हिंदी में होगा या इंग्लिश में होगा. ओके. जो प्राइमली जो स्क्रीन पे शेयर की जाएगी रीडिंग वो इंग्लिश में की जाएगी. अगर आप में से कोई इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल नहीं है, आप हिंदी में पढ़ना चाहते हैं, तो आप इंडिविजुअली साथ में अपनी हिंदी बुक रखिए और उसको आप पढ़ते रहिए. तो जब आपकी टर्न आएगी तो आप हिंदी बुक में से पढ़ सकते हैं, बाकी सब हम इंग्लिश में फॉलो कर सकते हैं. बट मैं इंग्लिश में इसलिए लेना चाहता हूँ, नंबर वन, हिंदी बुक के मेरे पास सॉफ्ट रिसोर्सेज नहीं है कि मैं स्क्रीन पे शेयर कर सकूं. सेकेंडली, शिला प्रभुपाद ने जो ट्रांसलेशन दिया ओरिजिनल इंग्लिश में दिया है, बाकी उस और लैंग्वेजेस में फिर बाद में ट्रांसलेट हुई है. सो आई वांटेड टू टेक दैट इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज इन विच शिला प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेटेड इट ओरिजिनली. बेस्ट होता अगर हम सबको बांग्ला आती और हम सिर्फ बांग्ला में ही पढ़ते हैं. तो देयर इज नथिंग मोर नेक्टेरियन लाइक बेटर देन दैट. शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर सेड there will be a time when people from all over the world will learn Bangla simply to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay? तो हम में से अभी आप सबको इनविटेशन है शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर द्वारा और डायरेक्टली शिला कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी के द्वारा कि आप सब बांग्ला सीखें और बांग्ला में ही पढ़ सकें. तो बेस्ट है. बट जब तक ऐसा नहीं होता तब तक एटलीस्ट आई शो इट ऑन इंग्लिश. आप जिस लैंग्वेज में भी कंफर्टेबल है आप उसमें पढ़ सकते हैं. अब एक, अब ये जो हम बुक पढ़ने जा रहे हैं वो बुक लिखी किसने है उसके बारे में संक्षिप्त में चर्चा कर लेते हैं कि शिला कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी है कौन. शिला कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी के जीवन में उन्होंने खुद अपने जीवन में बहुत संक्षिप्त में वर्णन किया है. ऐसा बताते हैं कि जब वो नित्यानंद प्रभु के आज्ञा पर वृंदावन गए तो वो अपने पूर्व काल के जीवन में बात नहीं करते थे. He would be very silent about his past life and he would absorb his entire time in Krishna Katha. But different devotees have given different details about Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's life, and those biographies are also very easily available and accessible at many places on his ISKCON Desire Tree in many books. His on his appearance, even his appearance day is not very certain कि कब आता है. There are like different views about it. बट जो सबसे कॉमन है कि आज से 505 साल पहले उनका जन्म हुआ था. 505 years बैक इन आई थिंक 1510 AD. और उनका जन्म हुआ था कहाँ पे, कटवा के पास एक गांव है. आई थिंक इसमें लिखा हुआ, जस्ट अ मोमेंट. हाँ, 5th चैप्टर में आदि लीला में आता है परपट में कि झमटपुर में उनका जन्म हुआ था. ये सलरा रेलवे स्टेशन के पास है और ये 4 मील नए हाटी, कटवा ब्लॉक में, बर्धमान डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कटवा है. आप में से जो मायापुर गए हैं उसके 4 मील दूर वेस्ट में ये ये झमटपुर नामक स्थान है. वहां पे उनका जन्म हुआ था और उसी स्थान पर आज तक उनके जो पर्सनल गौर निताय की डीटीज हैं उनकी वर्शिप हो रही है. और उनको स्वप्न में नित्यानंद प्रभु ने आदेश दिया था वृंदावन जाने के लिए. और उनकी जो समाधि है पता है कहाँ पे है? आपने जरूर दर्शन किए होंगे वृंदावन में.
राधा दामोदर टेम्पल.
हाँ, राधा दामोदर टेम्पल में उनकी समाधि है. तो आ, कई डिवोटीज ने उनका कौन से परिवार में जन्म हुआ था इस पे भी कई सारे ओपिनियंस लिखे हैं. अभी फिर भी श्योर नहीं है. कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि ब्राह्मण परिवार में, कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि कायस्थ या वैद्य परिवार में. क्योंकि जो ये टाइटल है कविराज, ये दो लोगों को दिया जाता था. एक तो जो वैद्य होते थे और जो कविराज टाइटल है जो पोएट्री में बहुत एक्सपर्ट थे. तो कृष्णदास कविराज को वैसे जो ये टाइटल है, उन्होंने जो जिन ग्रंथों का, आपको पता है इनको ये टाइटल क्यों दिया गया था कविराज? उनके लाइफ के 3 बहुत ही मेजर वर्क हैं जो उन्होंने लिखे हैं. एक तो निश्चित रूप से जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं चैतन्य चरितामृत, एक है गोविंद लीलामृत, और एक उन्होंने कृष्ण करनामृत पे कमेंट्री लिखी है, तात्पर्य लिखे हैं. तो जो गोविंद लीलामृत है इसमें भगवान कृष्ण के 24 घंटे में जो जो लीलाएं होती हैं उसका वर्णन उन्होंने किया है. और शिला नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर अपने प्रेम भक्ति चंद्रिका में कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी को ग्लोरीफाई कर रहे हैं, उनके स्पेसिफिकली इस वर्क को, गोविंद लीलामृत। तो उनकी इस कॉम्पोजिशन को देखकर उनको ये टाइटल दिया गया था कविराज का। बट एनीवेज, और बट कुछ लोग तो इसलिए कहते हैं कि उनको ये कविराज टाइटल दिया, और जिस प्रकार से उनकी पोएट्री है तो कहते हैं उनका जन्म ब्राह्मण परिवार में हुआ। और कई लोग कहते हैं उनके हार्ट में ना बहुत सॉफ्ट कॉर्नर था वैद्यों को लेके, क्योंकि उन्होंने अभी आगे के हम जब हम बुक पढ़ेंगे देखेंगे, जो आयुर्वेदिक फिजिशियंस थे तो उनको भी ये टाइटल दिया जाता था। और कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी ने ऐसे फिजिशियंस को बहुत ग्लोरीफाई किया, ऐसा उनका मानना है। उनके हार्ट में बहुत सॉफ्ट स्पॉट था। तो जब उन्होंने रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी के जो अर्ली लाइफ थी उसमें वो उनकी इंटेलिजेंस और मैनेजरियल एबिलिटीज को बहुत ग्लोरीफाई करते हैं, तो कुछ लोग इस प्रकार से कहते हैं। बट एनीवे, जो आचार्यों का मत है वो ये है कि जो वैष्णव है किसी भी कास्ट से ऊपर होता है। आ, उस अगर कोई वैष्णव को, और ऐसे वैष्णव जो परमहंस स्टेज पे है, कास्ट के दायरे में देखता है तो वो नारकीय बुद्धि बताई गई है। तो बट इनके लाइफ में कई इंपॉर्टेंट ट्रांजिशंस आए हैं जो इन्होंने खुद डिस्क्राइब किए हैं। उसमें से एक ट्रांजिशन ये आया कि इन्होंने घर कैसे छोड़ा था। तो इनके घर पे एक बार 24 आवर कीर्तन ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ। आज के समय में देखते हैं ऐसे कीर्तन मेला हो रहा है या अलग अलग इवेंट्स हो रहे हैं, उस समय में 24 आवर कीर्तन इनके घर पे ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ था। और उसपे कई सारे गेस्ट को इनवाइट किया गया था। तो नित्यानंद प्रभु के एक बहुत ही प्रिय पार्षद हैं जिनका नाम है मीन केतन रामदास, और वो भी उसी जगह पे रहते थे, झमटपुर में। तो मीन केतन रामदास बहुत ही महान वैष्णव थे और हमेशा नित्यानंद प्रभु के प्रेम में आविर उसमें कंप्लीटली ट्रांस में रहते थे। इनके पास एक फ्लूट होती थी, और जब ये भाव विभोर होते थे कीर्तन में, किसी के बैक पे फ्लूट मारते थे या स्लैप करते थे। और ऐसा बताते हैं कि वो उसका इफेक्ट ये होता था कि जिसको भी वो स्लैप पड़ा या फ्लूट टच हुआ, ही विल गेट कृष्ण प्रेम। सो जब उनके घर पे 24 आवर कीर्तन ऑर्गेनाइज हुआ, सो मीन केतन रामदास, who was the associate of Nityanand Prabhu, he came, and in his ecstasy he was hitting people with his flute, and sometimes he was slapping them. So when people would see this kind of behavior, they would become astonished. Sometimes they would become confused. But seeing his devotion, they would be very, very happy. Ultimately, it is said he would sing and dance in such a way in ecstasy that even a stone would melt. So there was a pujari there. His name was Gunarnava Mishra. He did not demonstrate a respectful attitude toward Meen Ketan Ramdas. And his behavior was a reflection that he did not have faith in the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. And seeing this, Meen Ketan Ramdas was very upset and he criticized Mishra. And he said, just look, a second Rom Harshan Sood who did not come forward to show respect when he saw Balaram. It will come in fifth chapter of Adi Leela only. So this Pujari was very pleased after being chastised by Ramdas, and he was continuing in his service to the deity. So once the festival was over, he went. But the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he had an argument with Ramdas about his behavior. And his brother also had faith in Mahaprabhu. He would accept the glories of Mahaprabhu, but he would not accept the glories of Nityanand Prabhu. And this made Ramdas very, very upset. And he became so angry that he broke his flute and he left. And it is described that the result of this particular offense towards Nityananda Prabhu and towards Ramadas was that he lost his devotional attitude and devotional mindset. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he took the side in this argument of Ramadas, and he defended Nityananda Prabhu. And he tried to explain the glories of Nityananda Prabhu to his brother. So, uh, and he says that the two brothers, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, are like one body. They are equal in their spiritual manifestation. If someone does not accept the divinity of Lord Nityanand Prabhu, they fall down. To have faith in just one, but to disrespect the other, is like accepting a half hand. It doesn't work. And he says, better you should be an atheist by denying the divinity of both than a hypocrite who believes in one and not the other. He says, if you're accepting one and rejecting other, you are a hypocrite. So better you become an atheist rather than being a hypocrite. So Lord was very pleased, and Nityanand Prabhu, he by this behavior, that he was chastising his own brother and he was defending the devotee of Nityanand Prabhu, and he was explaining the glories of Nityanand Prabhu. He attracted the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu. Nityanand Prabhu appeared to him in his dream, and he ordered him, "You go to Vrindavan." So that is one incident that he himself explains. So then that is a point, that is a moment he actually left home and proceeded directly to Vrindavan. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he was so humble that he's describing his own position. He says, "I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and I'm lower than a worm in stool." And he says, "Whoever hears my name loses the result of his virtuous deed, and whoever utters my name commits a sin. Other than Nityanand, could anyone in this world show mercy to one as abominable as me?" Nityanand is the incarnation of mercy. He is so intoxicated by ecstatic love that he does not discriminate between the good and the bad. He delivers anyone who falls down before him. Therefore, he has delivered such a sinful and fallen person as me. So that was his internal mood and his internal humility that he expresses, that anyone who takes my name, all his pious credits are destroyed. And he wrote this book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, in a very advanced age. I think when he was more than 90 years old. And why did he write this book? Because many devotees in Vrindavan were approaching him again and again, and they were requesting him to describe the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. There are primarily three sources of biographies of Lord Chaitanya. One is Chaitanya Charitamrita, one is Chaitanya Bhagavad, and one is Chaitanya Mangal. चैतन्य चरितमृत से पहले चैतन्य भागवत कंपाइल हो चुकी थी। तो फिर डिवोटीज क्यों रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे थे इनको? क्योंकि चैतन्य भागवत जिन्होंने लिखी है, किन्होंने लिखी है? वृंदावन दास ठाकुर ने। तो उन्होंने भगवान के आदि लीला का वर्णन बहुत डिटेल में किया। और उनके गुरु कौन थे वृंदावन दास ठाकुर के? नित्यानंद प्रभु। इट इज सेड ही वाज द लास्ट डिसाइपल ऑफ नित्यानंद प्रभु ऑफिशियली, and he explained the glories of Nityanand Prabhu in great detail. But then he realized the volume of book will be too large. So the later pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, specifically after the Sannyas Leela and his Anta Leela, he described in a short detail, and he completed the book. So Adi Leela and glories of Nityanand Prabhu are in great detail in Chaitanya Bhagavad. But Lord Chaitanya's later pastimes are in they are explained briefly. तब सारे डिवोटीज वृंदावन में जाके कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी को रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे थे, क्योंकि वृंदावन में चैतन्य महाप्रभु के ऊपर कथा होती थी, और वो कथा कौन करते थे? रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी। रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी किसके शेल्टर में थे? स्वरूप दामोदर। स्वरूप दामोदर is one of the most intimate associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. तो स्वरूप दामोदर ने चैतन्य महाप्रभु के जितने पास टाइम्स थे उसको नोट किया हुआ था, अपने उसको कर्चे बोलते हैं उसमें। और स्वरूप दामोदर ने वो सारे जो नोट्स थे वो मेमोराइज कराए थे रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी को। तो जब रूप गोस्वामी और सनातन गोस्वामी ने शरीर छोड़ दिया तो रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी भी सुसाइड करने चाहते थे, बट he was stopped. He was in so much pain and separation, so he would take discourses of Sri Chaitanya on the life and the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, क्योंकि रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी पर्सनली रहे थे महाप्रभु के साथ जगन्नाथपुरी में उनके अंत्यलीला में। तो वो डिस्कोर्सेस सुनते थे कौन? कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी। सो ही न्यू, ही वॉज लाइक वन ऑफ द प्राइमरी सोर्स जिनके पास स्वरूप दामोदर गोस्वामी के जो रिटर्न नोट्स थे जो रघुनाथ दास गोस्वामी के मेमोरी से उनके तक आए थे। और सभी को लग रहा था कि अगर वो ये बुक नहीं लिखेंगे तो वो सारी चीजें लॉस्ट हो जाएंगी। सो देयरफॉर everyone was requesting him, and he was 90 years old. He was hardly able to write. He was in a very old age. So just to fulfill the order and the request of all the Vaishnavas, he he took this project and he went to Madana Mohan seeking his blessings. And it was in the assembly of many Vaishnavas. And he requested the pujari. And as soon as he was praying and requested, there was a garland that fell off from the deity of Madana Mohan. And that was taken as a signal that he has received the blessings. He got that signal that the deity has blessed him. And after this, he embarked on a journey to write श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत। इसलिए हम देखेंगे इसमें भी वो सारे जगह पे पहले क्या कर रहे हैं, बहुत ब्रीफली डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं, सिनॉप्सिस दे रहे हैं, बिकॉज ही वॉज ऑलवेज थिंकिंग आई माई नॉट लिव such long life, so at least give me synopsis first. So he would give synopsis and then he would elaborate on that synopsis. अब यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज कहना चाहूंगा, यहाँ इस समय कई सारे ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स होंगे जैसे डीटीज से गार्लैंड गिरना। अब कोई पूछ सकता है कि ऐसे कैसे वो परमिशन हो गई डीटीज के, बाई चांस भी तो गिर सकता है गार्लैंड। उस समय जा रहे हैं तो ये कैसे परमिशन दे दी डीटीज ने? सो दोस थिंग्स आर हाउ टू से, some things are between the devotees and the Lord. And just like when Bimala Prasad was taken on the chariot of Jagannath Ji, and as soon as he was kept on the lotus feet of Jagannath Ji, a garland of Jagannath Ji fell on him. And later on, when Kedarnath Dutt heard what had happened, he could realize that this is the son that he had prayed for, right? So if you see it from an external logical point of view, yes, it can be a by chance. He happened to be there. He was praying, and and yet with a devotional sentiment and attitude. So this is taken as the exchange between the devotee and the deity. And you will see there will be many such things which will come of course we are doing for only Adi Leela right now, but in the Ante Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is happening to the devotees, the kind of behavior they are showing, they are crying, they are rolling on the ground, they are shivering. So from an external point of view, all these incidents appear very odd, and how can someone do like that? And yet they are the highest ecstasies of love, and that is one of the speciality that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to show to what limit, what does love of God actually look like. So yeah, there would be many incidents like that. If you are having any questions and doubts about that, you can always bring them up. So yeah, so that's how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote this scripture, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we will see that he described the Adi Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a very, very short form, very, very briefly. Why? Because Vrindavan Das Thakur had already explained them in great detail. I've taken one verse, just a second. Yeah, this is from Adi Leela, 8th chapter. Chaitanya Charitamrita is being dictated to me by Madan Mohan. My writing is like the repetition of a parrot. I write as Madan Gopal orders me, just as a wooden marionette is made to dance by a puppeteer. And this is the basis of his writing. Though I am an insignificant living being, through the blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have summarized in writing everything that Swarup Damodar recorded in his notes about the Lord's pastimes, as well as everything that I heard from the mouth of Raghunath Das. This comes in Antelila. I am now an old man and an invalid. My hand trembles as I write, and my memory fails me. I am going blind and deaf, but still I manage to write, and this is a great wonder. Even Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he writes about the work of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Can anyone of you can please read this? You can unmute yourself. You can read.
If it were to happen that all the books in the world were destroyed, leaving only Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, then the people of this world would still be able to achieve the ultimate goal in life. Even if the Srimad Bhagavatam were lost, leaving only the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there would be no loss to humanity, for that which has not been revealed in the Bhagavad is found in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Supreme Personality of God, the Supreme Absolute Truth is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combined form of Radha and Krishna. The Chaitanya Charitamrita is his sound incarnation. The divine mystery of Radha Rani's divine status and glories are found therein. Can there be any doubt, therefore, of the supreme status of this piece of transcendental literature?
Yeah. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur is saying, इस संसार की सारे के सारे ग्रंथ नष्ट हो जाए, सारे के सारे पुस्तकें नष्ट हो जाए, बट अगर सिर्फ ये दो ग्रंथ बचे हैं, श्रीमद् भागवतम और चैतन्य चरितामृत, तो भी मतलब कुछ लॉस नहीं हुआ। लोग एक्चुअल में अपने पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ को फुलफिल कर लेंगे। और अगर श्रीमद् भागवतम भी लॉस्ट हो जाए, मान लीजिए, बट अगर चैतन्य चरितामृत है तो कोई लॉस नहीं होगा, क्योंकि जो भी भागवत में सिद्धांत दिए हैं वो चैतन्य चरितामृत में पाए जाते हैं। So that was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, that it is such an important scripture that if all the scriptures, all the books were to disappear suddenly from this planet and there's only Chaitanya Charitamrita, still people can attain the full purpose of their human form of life and the highest goal, the love of God, and through this book. Even Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary, he glorifies Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And this pastime is a very famous pastime that which describes the authoritativeness of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So once he was writing the commentary on the verses of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there's a specific verse in Madhya Leela, 21st chapter, 125 verse, in which Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is writing that Kama Gayatri mantra, it consists of 24 syllables rather than 25. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he could not comprehend that. How come Kama Gayatri, if you know what is Kama Gayatri, if you count the syllables, it comes out 25. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is writing, it is actually 24, not 25. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explored many scriptures, and he was not able to comprehend that why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written this. And he finally took a vow that he will starve to death staying on the bank of Radha Kund till the time he understands this. And then in the middle of night, it is said, the daughter of Rishabhanu, Srimati Radharani, personally appeared in his dream and explained to him that what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has written is correct. And she gives a reference that in a book named Varnagama Bhashwat, it is written that whenever the syllable ya is followed by the syllable v, it is considered to be only a half a syllable. So So then he became pacified, and this also established how authoritative Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is, that Radharani is coming personally to explain in the dreams of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Yeah. So yeah, that was a brief note about Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Of course, there are more elaborate uh, biographies that are available. You can easily find on the internet as well. I encourage you to read them. Yeah, the name, and just a second. The name of the book, it is Varnagama Bhashwat. Varnagama Bhashwat, that is written as well. So yeah, so that was about Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And then let us come to the book, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just hold on for one. तो चैतन्य चरितामृत, चैतन्य महाप्रभु की लाइफ मुख्यतः 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड है, आदि लीला, मध्य लीला, अंत्य लीला। आदि लीला मतलब महाप्रभु के प्राकट्य से लेकर जब तक उन्होंने संन्यास लिया, 24 years। मध्य लीला नेक्स्ट 6 years, स्पेसिफिकली जब वो दक्षिण भारत की यात्रा पे गए। और अंत्य लीला जो उन्होंने आखिरी 18 साल जगन्नाथपुरी में था। इस प्रकार से महाप्रभु की लाइफ को 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड किया हुआ है, आदि लीला, मध्य लीला और अंत्य लीला। तो अभी हम डायरेक्टली उसमें से पढ़ना शुरू करेंगे, बट उससे पहले मैं ये एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ कि ये प्रोसेस कैसे रहेगा। मंडे टू फ्राइडे every day will join and will read. One person will lead, like for 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, we'll take turns, and all of us can follow along. So there will be no discussion on from Monday to Friday. अगर आप में से किसी का भी कोई क्वेश्चन रहता है, आई सजेस्ट आप साथ में एक नोटबुक रखिए। जो भी पढ़ते समय कोई भी क्वेश्चंस आपके माइंड में उठ रहे हैं, कोई भी रिफ्लेक्शंस हो रही हैं, उसको उसी समय लिख लीजिए। आई वुड ऑल्सो एनकरेज ऑल ऑफ यू कि आप इसके लिए नोट्स जरूर बनाएं। नोट्स कैसे? जो भी आप परपट पढ़ रहे हैं, उस परपट के क्या मेन पॉइंट्स हैं, उसकी एक हेडिंग लिख सकते हैं। कोई ऐसा स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट जो आया आपको उस समय बहुत स्ट्राइक किया, उसको अलग से मार्क कर सकते हैं। कोई ऐसा चीज जो आपको बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आई, सिर के ऊपर से निकल गई, यू कैन राइट अ क्वेश्चन और यू कैन मार्क दोस पॉइंट। क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली पढ़ने के बाद रिमेंबर मीन्स राइट इट डाउन, शिला प्रभुपाद यूज्ड टू से। जो आपने खुद लिखा है अपने हाथों से, वो आपकी अपनी असली वेल्थ रहेगी, वही आपको याद रहेगा ज्यादातर। सो आई सजेस्ट यू टेक नोट्स एज वी गो अलोंग। सो मंडे टू फ्राइडे विल बी अ कॉमन रीडिंग सेशन वेयर विल जॉइन एवरी डे। सैटरडे 11 to 12:30 इज अ डिस्कशन टाइम। आई होप ये टाइम आप सबको कंफर्टेबल है। 11 to 12:30. There were many people who joined and who, but they could not attend today. They were had certain engagements. So I just want to make sure that this is the time that perhaps works for most of you, and that is why you have joined. So 11 to 12:30, that will be the time we'll be meeting. और 11 to 12:30 में उस जितना हमने मंडे टू फ्राइडे पढ़ा है या उस पूरे चैप्टर को हम डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके. यस प्रिया गौरंगी माता जी, दौड़त प्रणाम.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी वेरी मच. प्रभु जी मैं पूछ रही थी कि एवरी डे यू विल बी मेंशनिंग द श्लोक्स व्हिच यू आर रीडिंग एवरी डे.
हाँ माता जी, अब उसमें 30 वो श्लोक तो मैं मेंशन नहीं कर पाऊंगा मंडे, क्योंकि सबकी रीडिंग स्पीड अलग अलग होगी. कुछ लोग बहुत फास्ट बोलेंगे जब उनकी टर्न आएगी, कुछ लोग थोड़ा स्लो बोलेंगे जब उनकी टर्न आएगी. और अभी ऐसा भी होगा कि सारे डिवोटीज शायद रोज ज्वाइन ना कर पाए. तो वो मैं नेक्स्ट पॉइंट पे आ रहा था. अगर आप मान लीजिए रोज ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रहे, तो भी आपको अपने एंड पे 30 मिनट्स पढ़ना है, तभी आप फॉलो कर पाएंगे. और उसके लिए मेरा एक प्रपोजल था, जो मैं ये फाइनल पॉइंट डिस्कस करना चाहता था, कि वी विल मेक अ गूगल एक्सेल शीट. आप सबके उसमें नाम लिखे होंगे और आपको एवरीडे उसमें शीट में जाके फिल इन करना होगा दैट यू हैव रेड 30 मिनट्स, मतलब टाइम ड्यूरेशन जितना आपने पढ़ा है. दो चीजें, और कौन से वर्ष से कौन से वर्ष तक पढ़ा है. आपको लगता है आप कर पाएंगे और इज इट टू मच? अब उसमें दो ऑप्शंस हैं. अगर आपको लगता है कि आप पब्लिकली किसी के साथ अपने नाम और अपना ये रिकॉर्ड शेयर नहीं करना चाहते, वी कैन क्रिएट अ सेपरेट गूगल शीट फॉर यू that will be only by your name and only you can look into it along with myself. uh, तो वैसा भी कर सकते हैं, बट आपको लगता है ऐसा कोई कंसर्न नहीं है कि आप कंबाइंड शीट में भी आप फिल इन कर सकते हैं? वी वुड लाइक टू डू दैट. आप में से किसी को ऐसा लगता है कि मेरे को नहीं भरना, मेरे को बस जस्ट पढ़ना है, and I don't want to fill it in at all. I don't want that sort of commitment and accountability. That is also fine. You can let us know. We will remove your name from the Google Sheet and you need not fill it. But we wanted कि आप में से हर कोई ये एक हैबिट डाले टू मेक अ नोट ऑफ एवरी डे. देन उसके ऊपर कोई भी वो नहीं होगा, मतलब कोई रिवॉर्ड नहीं है, कोई वो पनिशमेंट नहीं है, कोई एम्बेरसमेंट नहीं है. इट इज ओनली फॉर आवर ओन रिटर्न, कि हम एग्जैक्टली हम क्या कर रहे हैं रोज चैतन्य चरितामृत में. और पढ़ने से बिल्कुल स्पष्ट हो जाता है. कई बार मन को लगता है कि मैं तो बहुत पढ़ रहा हूँ, या मन को लगता है कि मैं तो बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ रहा. बट वो रिटर्न डेटा जब होता है तो बिल्कुल क्लियर होता है कितना पढ़ा है कितना मिस हुआ. और फिर आपका कोई भी चीज मिस हो जाती है किसी दिन, मान लीजिए आपकी एक दिन रीडिंग मिस हो गई 30 मिनट्स, बट आपको उस शीट में देख के सब पता चल जाएगा कि हमने कहाँ से कहाँ तक पढ़ा, और आप नेक्स्ट डे कवर कर सकते हो. राइट. Do you think you would be willing to do this? I wanted to ask all of you before making a sheet. If you can, you raise your hand if you would be willing to fill in that sheet every day. It will be a Google Excel sheet. आपको शायद वो ऐप कर डाउनलोड करना पड़े या फिर इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर में जाके ओपन करना पड़े. If you think you can fill it in every day. किसी दिन फिल नहीं होगा तो वी विल रिमाइंड यू दिस इज मिसिंग. एवरी वीक विल टेक अ रिकॉर्ड, विल रिमाइंड यू कि इस दिन का मिस है, इस दिन का फिल नहीं हुआ, प्लीज आप फिल कर दीजिए. ओके, थैंक यू. So at least there are some devotees. Other devotees who have not raised your hand, so you are not willing to fill in, or you want a separate Excel sheet by your name. You can let us know. तो हम अभी क्या करेंगे, हमारे पास जितनी रजिस्ट्रेशन है हम सबके नाम फिल कर देंगे उस एक्सेल शीट में. आप में से किसी को कोई भी कंसर्न है, ये बिल्कुल भी वो नहीं है, मतलब कंपलसरी नहीं है, इट्स अ वॉलेंट्री थिंग. सो यू कैन लेट अस नो, वी कैन रिमूव योर नेम. or we can create a separate Excel sheet that only you have that access to it. And there are no rewards, there are no punishments on it. There's nothing like that. Rewards there may be, but there's no punishment. किसी का बहुत consistent हुआ, perhaps you'll get a Rajbhog plate from temple or something. But there's no punishment at all. Right? There's no stick hanging on the head. We don't want you to do it from a place of fear at all. Don't do it from a place of obligation. Don't do it from a place of fear. We want you to do it from a place of happiness. And this is only for a basic discipline. That's all. Okay. So yeah. Can we make evening timings on Saturday also? Evening is, I'm not available. There are other courses that are going on. Sarveshwari Keshri Matali, you have a question? Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Any other question? I think it's already 12:30.
Prabhu, will there be a recording of the Saturday class? Because sometimes you have services on Saturdays.
Yes, we'll record. And there are certain norms for WhatsApp group and for this session that I'll post in the WhatsApp group. You can go through them. And if there are any concern, you can bring them up in the next session. Also, one important thing I would request, अगर cameras on रख सकें आप, until unless कोई emergency है, most of the times, at least 70% time on 70% of the sessions, the camera needs to be on, right? आप अगर कोई वर्क भी कर रहे हो, आप कैमरा ऑन कर दो, उसका एंगल आप चाहे छत पे कर दो, बट कीप योर द कैमरा ऑन, समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. तो जो डेली रीडिंग सेशंस भी होंगे, कीप योर कैमरास ऑन, ओके. और कैमरा ऑफ करके बस इधर उधर चल रहे हैं, बस दिखाने के लिए आ गए और उसमें कुछ ग्रास्प नहीं कर रहे, then it's no use. Okay. The only thing that is required to read is the commitment of time. अगर आप पढ़ना चाहते हैं, उसके लिए आपको टाइम इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा. उसके लिए आप मेंटली प्रिपेयर रहिएगा. 30 minutes Monday to Friday every day and 1.5 hours on Saturday. Many times I will also not be there in the session. So Her Grace Vrindavan Vilasni Mataji is there. जिन्होंने जो एडमिन भी है व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में, तो वो रीडिंग सेशंस लीड कर लेंगे. और कभी कभार मतलब वो भी नहीं है, तो आप में से ही कोई, आप विल रिक्वेस्ट समवन of you and you can lead those reading sessions. But we want the consistency of reading sessions to happen every day. And sometimes it's possible that someone is traveling, sometimes someone is sick, someone has other important engagements. But please try at least 80% of time you are there. And this group is for Adi Leela only. Once the Adi Leela completes, that will be the conclusion of this group. For Madhya Leela and other things, we will see later on. Our target right now is to complete Adi Leela. Okay. Any questions, any queries on your behalf, you can ask.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, जो फ्राइडे को हमारी वो स्टडी क्लास होती है, उसका टाइमिंग भी यही है, 7 o'clock हम लोग घर से निकलते, तो उसमें उस दिन कैसे करेंगे?
किस दिन?
जैसे फ्राइडे को प्रभु जी हमारी स्टडी क्लास होती है.
तो आप मत कीजिए फ्राइडे को, अपना इंडिविजुअल रीड कर लीजिए.
ओके. या फिर कैमरा ऑफ करके गाड़ी में होते हैं उस टाइम तो ऑन कर सकते हैं प्रभु जी, उस दिन रीड नहीं हो पाएगा लेकिन.
Yeah. I mean, you have to adjust by yourself. You have to like see what works for you, right?
ओके ओके, थैंक्स.
Because ऑप्शन, अगर आप में से कोई ऐसा है जो मंडे टू फ्राइडे नहीं, वो आपको टाइम सूट करता है, आप सिर्फ सैटरडे को आना चाहते हैं, वो भी पॉसिबल है. बट द पॉइंट इज यू आर रीडिंग एवरी डे. Individually you are spending 30 minutes and you are filling in that sheet. That is what we want. बट साथ में पढ़ने से हमारा शेड्यूल फिक्स हो जाता है, और अगर एक ही चीज को रोज एक ही टाइम पे करते हैं तो उसका इम्पैक्ट भी बहुत स्ट्रांग होता है. अगर कभी एक चीज आप सुबह कर रहे हो, कभी दोपहर कर रहे हो, कभी शाम कर रहे हो, फिर कभी मिस कर रहे हो, तो वो बहुत स्कैटर्ड वे में होता है. बट इफ अगर ये habit पड़ जाए कि 7 to 7:30, then everything starts revolving around that time slot. And it gives discipline, efficiency, productivity, focus. Yes, Piyush bro.
A couple of questions, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Personally, who was the spiritual master of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami?
This is Nityanand Prabhu only.
Okay.
It is said like that, yeah.
And second, I have heard, I have not read personally, but I have heard that, I mean, you said that every time Srila Krishnadas Goswami would give a synopsis, thinking that he might not live that long. So first he would give a synopsis and then he would later describe. So, but what I've heard is the beginning of Adi Leela, probably first 7 or 9 chapters, they are just philosophy. So what was the purpose of that in that context? That
So yes, I wanted to take that section, but it will be this entire thing will be explained in next Saturday section.
then that's fine then.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll explain the synopsis of Adi Leela. What happens in the first 17 chapters. So the first chapter, first 14 verses are the invocation, Mangalacharan. Those are expanded into next 5 chapters. And Panch Tattva expand 5 or 7 chapters like that. Just a second. Let me. Yeah. The first 14 verses of the first chapter, they are the Mangalacharan, and the rest of the first 7 chapters, they are the explanation of the first 14 verses. Like that. And in the last 5 chapters are the brief synopsis of Mahaprabhu's childhood pastimes. And then in the middle of the Adi Leela, in the 5 chapters, they are explained as the trunk of love of God, and where the analogy is given. Where Mahaprabhu is like the trunk and there are many branches. So those are explained. So first of all, he is explaining the Tattva. Who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who is Nityananda? Who is Advaitacharya? Who is Gadadhar Pandit? Who is Shivas? Like that. So first 7 chapters, they are the explanation of Mangalacharan. Then the next 5 chapters, they are the trunk of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of love of God, and the tree of love of Godhead. And then the early pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's explained like that. Okay. Okay. Anything else about why we are here, what we are doing, the methodology, and the timings and the sessions and everything? Okay. Okay. So we look forward to dive deep into Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll start now on Monday. We'll meet at 7 o'clock, 7:05. Okay, 7:05 to 7:35. That is the timing. We'll use the same link. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday weekend. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. I'll also share certain resources related to Chaitanya Charitamrita. I have some audiobooks. You can listen to those audiobooks also. They are very nectarian. I'll share only for Adi Leela right now and first 2 chapters. I'll also share certain sections and certain letters, certain purports. Do go through them in your own time. Okay. We might not read them in our daily readings. We might have brief discussion on Saturday. But I'll keep on sharing whatever resources I have, and do go through them in your own time at your own convenience. Okay, Hare Krishna. See you on Monday.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.